Feyre.
Gross.
New words. Where does this tone come from?
She doesn't want to murder all of them?
Good.
I'm surprised, but delighted.
Yes. You're listening to Getting Fae'd. We,
Lukas?
Lea.
and Meike are reading A Court of Wings and Ruin for the very first time. Today we're covering chapters 4 and 5. Get Fae'd with us! Woo!
You guys.
Hello.
I have a very fantasy-heavy weekend.
Yeah, me too. I
It's
think.
Monday.
To me, it's weekend. I
Okay.
worked on Saturday, so my weekend is Sunday and Monday. I'm sorry.
It's good for you.
Yeah, and we played a lot of D&D. And
Yes.
because playing D&D and reading several fantasy books, because I'm also reading Aragon again, I thought that's not enough. I'm also watching D&D. And so I watched over 5-hour long episode, and it was
Nice.
nail-bitingly exciting.
Was it
great.
Critical Role?
Yes, of course it was.
What's the hero type you're feeling right now?
The hero type right now or
Yeah.
in general right now?
What's your mood?
I think I'm in a analyzing mood today, which is fitting because when I made my notes today, I was like, I have kind of more analyzing thoughts than usual. And so maybe in a calculating wizard or fighter strategist direction.
Okay.
But that's just the vibe for the day.
Nice.
Which might help because later today we will also be playing D&D and have a very important fight. But there I'm not the most strategist someone, and
No,
I'm
it's-
also the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
So-
We have to save you. You might die today.
yeah. Well, but that is not
goodbye.
what we're here to talk about.
No. We're here to talk about A Court of Wings and Ruin, which we're so new to. I still feel very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New book, new hype. Yay!
New themes being explored in
Yes.
these chapters.
New storyline setup.
Also old themes.
Yeah, but also
and
new
new.
themes.
Yeah.
It's
a
both.
new setup.
It's the best of both worlds.
Get the best of both worlds.
What happened last episode?
Did the delegation from Hybern arrive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Princess Brenna and Prince Dagdan.
Yeah, and the Duck Dun delegation.
I only call them B&D now.
B&D.
B&D.
Like David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Speaking of fantasy.
Wait, is it D&B or B&D?
I say B&D because it sounds like D&B sounds too much like D&D for me, and my brain would just fumble that. So I go
Yeah.
B&D.
Might also be Bed and Dragons. Or, or Breakfast and Dungeons.
But Bed and Dragons is fitting for this book series, I feel like.
I hope so.
I mean, not necessarily dragons. Dragons just stand for fantasy and then
Also
explaining
sex.
jokes. That's also, that
Yeah.
fits the wizard vibes
Please
today.
tell us, what does the bed represent?
Ooh, a sexual innuendo. Yes, and speaking of innuendo, these twins do have kind of an incest thing going on. Maybe they're just weird. Feyre doesn't know. And they're also Daemati. Very important. Very evil.
Yeah, and they're looking for ways to break the wall. Specifically, they're looking for holes, not just in each other, but in the wall. Well, maybe they can bring the cauldron to tear down that wall. That's kind of the goal.
Twins, tear down the wall. And there's like a party for the summer solstice approaching, right? And Ianthe and Feyre are planning that.
And I think the chapter then ended with Alice picking out a dress for Feyre to wear for
White
the summer
dress
solstice.
that speaks of purity and innocence.
Innocent.
Innocence, I love this word.
Yeah, which brings
Yeah.
us right into chapter 4.
The day of the party.
Party,
Summer solstice time. And, you know, I was like checking if the first summer solstice happened in book 1 or book 2, and it is book 1. And I wrote down what happened since book 1. And since the last summer solstice, Feyre has been kissed and in love, off to a rescue mission to Under the Mountain, dead, turned Fae, the savior of Prithian, aka Jesus, depressed, engaged, not engaged anymore, rescued to Night Court, emissary to the human realm, a thief and a liar, married, and most of all, an overall badass bitch.
Nice.
She's got a busy year.
Yeah,
That's 15 distinct things.
that's a lot of things to do in a year.
Yeah.
I feel like this year that's going on right now, 2026, I did like 3. It's like,
That's
why is it
more
already
than me.
June?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
If she keeps this average up for her immortal lifetime. She's just gonna, like, what the fuck?
She's just an overachiever.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's crazy. But last year, Ianthe wasn't with them in Springcourt. Sounds like a great time, actually. And now that she's in Tamlin's good graces, the solstice celebration has to go according to her. And she says, no, I'm a religious figure. We have to have a religious celebration. So they all have to get up very early and do like a ceremony to say thanks for the last year. And
I have to say, I think it's interesting, like, from Feyre's perspective, she's like, oh, it's so annoying that we have to do this, like, spiritual grounds for this holiday. And I think it's reasonable because Ianthe also uses it as a propaganda tool to, like, look down upon it. But, like, I don't know if it's the larger sentiment behind it, but, like, the idea of, well, maybe let's remember what kind of spiritual roots these holidays have is not actually a bad thing, I think.
It's also funny because Feyre appears to be pretty religious herself because she constantly thanks the mother and has adapted to this Fae belief system. So maybe she would like it.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree it's just the institutionalized religion that's evil.
yes.
Yeah.
Especially with Ianthe.
Yeah.
So, no. But it reminded me a lot of a scene in Throne of Glass. Because there's also like a celebration and the main character is attending and she doesn't really care. And then she's accompanied by some other figure and like she falls asleep and then wakes up embarrassed and is like, oh my God, I'm sorry, what did I miss? And then he's like, I don't know, I also fell asleep. It's very funny. So maybe she's not a big fan of like big institutionalized ceremonies. Maybe.
No.
But the whole shebang makes her think of Tarkin back in Summercourt.
That made me so happy.
Tarkin mention, guys.
Since we're still in the realm of recap, you know, in the first couple of chapters in a new book, this makes me hopeful that he will make an appearance later in the book.
Yeah, me too.
Especially because she thinks about, well, he did not tell Tamlin that I was there.
Yeah.
And then she thinks about that she's like, and I prayed he stayed out of it until my work here was finished. And I was like, so we'll probably meet him soon.
I just hope he's okay, because I feel like even though he hasn't told anyone, we know that like the servants talk. Like Alice knew about Feyre and Rysand being at Summercourt. And obviously the King of Hybern knows Rysand and Feyre took the book from Summercourt. So even though they didn't like talk about like having a relationship to Tarkin, he's in the eye of the King of Hybern. So I hope Tarkin's good. I like him. I like him very much.
Yeah.
Tarkin's a good boy. But overall, I think in book 1, we really liked the summer solstice celebration. It was like one of the first moments we actually enjoyed in the book, which is so sad. But
And also one of the first moments Feyre actually enjoyed.
That's probably why we enjoyed it, because
danced
she enjoyed
and had
herself.
a good time.
Yeah.
She was tripping balls on fairy wine.
Awesome.
Nice.
And this scene is very different, but I think it's also very, very cool. Like, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I like how calculating Feyre is and how, you know, how good she's at pretending, and also like a bit sad. It makes me miss everyone else. Like, she wants to be with other people, but they're not here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wrote down a lot of good, fun, or cool things that happen.
Yeah.
And the first is Feyre actually almost pities Tamlin, because Tamlin is the only person that not seems to get what's going on, and that is, you know, so relatable. But then she understands, no, I'm not here to pity him. That was good.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know if it directly reflects the feelings that we have, but to me it feels like she pities him in a way that you pity someone who is just surrounded by yes men, and like he has no one who loves him enough to tell him the truth, and so he can never, like, from that grow as a person. But I feel like we can't use that like as an excuse for him, because he kind of built this surrounding for himself. So
Yeah, I mean, in the last book, Feyre, I think, tried to tell him the truth.
Yeah.
And he just wouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And even Lucian couldn't tell him the truth. Like, he didn't tell him about her melting the ring off her finger and all that. So,
But also, like, before he tried, like, coercing him in a different direction, but he just wouldn't listen. So he kind of is digging his own grave, so to speak.
right. But I was very, like, I expected the chapter to be a bit boring, because I feel like whenever there's just, like, tradition happening, I'm just like, okay, because it's a lot of lore that I don't necessarily care about, and then nothing really happens. But this scene is just so incredibly funny.
I loved it.
Yeah.
The way it starts with Feyre being like, well, I told Ianthe, B and D, they don't really like this whole religious thing. So Ianthe really makes an effort to include them, and then she sends for them to like drink the blessed wine and have them come to the altar. And then Tamlin has to like light candles, and then Dorian has to recite a prayer. And it's all something like Feyre orchestrated.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, Ianthe, let's shame her. She wants to use this as propaganda, but Feyre is no stranger to propaganda here, and she tries to like use it. And like even in the beginning, like the way she's dressed in this white gown and the flower crown, and she lets Tamlin help her of her white horse.
Yeah.
Like she's the picture of purity, and
The PP.
yeah, she's like, she's trying to, she's like playing their game, and that's really cool. And I remember before we started the first book, we were talking about our expectations for the series, and I think I was hoping for like courtly schemings, and I feel like finally they're here, and
Yeah.
that's really cool.
It's really
I thought
good.
about your guys' expectations and how thrilled you must be to see them fulfilled.
Yeah, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't my expectation, nor was it my wish.
But how do you feel? Do you like it?
I very much enjoyed it.
Okay,
That's
that's
good.
good.
I would say if that's going to be the whole book, I might be disappointed because it's just too much.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But if it's just this beginning part, and I mean, it's just fun. Can we talk about what she does?
Well, I'd like, before we get to the big point, I'd like to speak about how this ritual is like introduced, because I just think it's a very funny, poignant way to describe it, because it's 2 very short sentences, and it says, a lovely rehearsed little number. Lucian was half asleep behind me. And it's just, you know exactly how you're supposed to feel about the ceremony. It's very, very good.
Yeah, very fitting, I guess. But yes, her big game concludes in like the one final moment of the ritual, when everyone except for Feyre and Lucian are now standing behind the altar. And the sun is rising above the hills, and it bathes Feyre and Lucian in its golden light, and Feyre uses her own power to like enhance this glow and make them really shiny, and like the picture of innocence and power and purity.
But that can't be. The sunbeam was supposed to hit Ianthe perfectly as
Yeah.
she speaks her prayer.
Well, Feyre just moved the marking of the position just a bit.
So cool.
It's so amazing.
Because it's so simple, you know?
Right, I thought it was
Yeah.
such a D&D moment.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this would be something a D&D character would do in that moment.
But also, like, how naive is Ianthe to tell Feyre, like, all her plans? Wow.
She underestimates her. I
Yeah.
don't think she sees Feyre as a threat.
Yeah. She's
No.
just like, I guess you are the lady of the house, so I guess you have to technically approve my plans for this household.
Yeah, I mean, she had no reason to expect something like that because Feyre never played her game,
Yeah.
and now she does, and
Yeah.
then she wins.
And she just looks like the chosen one.
Right.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Together with Lucian.
Who then kneels before her, and I think I'm confident that we all wrote down the same sentence.
Yeah.
A knight before his queen.
Yes. So
Awesome.
sick.
I actually had it tattooed yesterday.
Did you feel represented in this moment by Lucian?
Yes. Every Thursday afternoon, we have a little ritual.
But do you think, like, Lucian knows it's a ploy by Feyre, or is he, like, surprised by it as well?
Hard to tell, but I think since he is already so suspicious of her, I think he like understands the long game. Like he knows, okay, for Feyre and him to glow instead of Ianthe, that is, it's a message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He maybe doesn't know what Feyre's plan with this is, because for him it might make more sense for it just to be her. Maybe
Yeah.
later in the next chapter he might get
Yeah.
an idea.
Yeah, I mean, at this point I was also like, okay, but she's not putting everyone in the circle. She keeps Lucian out there, like, in her round, but he's not illuminated. But he's still, like, sort of on her level. And it's like,
Yeah. I don't think he understood the full picture that we will learn later, but I think it was easy for him to go along because lol, jokes on Ianthe, I hate her.
True.
I'm just gonna kneel and give Feyre this moment. Just because they have a common enemy in this moment.
It's a good scene.
Very
Really
good scene. Very cool.
Yeah. And then, I don't think Tamlin would have reacted that way. If Tamlin had been next to her, he would have been weirded out because he acts weird about it after it. Like, Ianthe is trying to, save face and it's like, oh, this is such a precious moment. The nature is blessing Feyre because Feyre blessed us, blah, blah, blah. And then Tamlin is, asking if Feyre is all right, which would be a good thing in other circumstances, but for him just be like, well, is this reminding you of something bad? Are you getting traumatized again? It just makes me feel like he doesn't want to know how she feels. He just wants to know if she's at the point of breaking again. Like, please, are you okay? Please, I can't handle this today.
Yeah.
He is annoying a bit.
Yeah.
Not just a bit, but it's just, bro. It's again this bro, grow up at the big guys table, at the adults table. Like, everyone's playing a different game than him and he's just there confused again.
Yeah. He just doesn't get anything.
Before we move on, I'd just like to talk about a tiny little sentence that's not really important to the story, but just a characterization, because Ianthe coaxes the Hybern people inside the circle and then they want to leave again after they did their part, and then she keeps them there and it says Ianthe cooed at them. And the first time she meets the Hybern people, she does that as well. And the only other instance I've come across the word cooing is in the subtitles for The Mandalorian when Grogu does his noises and it says the baby coos.
Yeah, it's a baby noise.
Yeah, and so I was sitting there making my notes and trying to imagine what she does. Like, she just oh.
I think so.
Yeah, just stay here. Oh. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, she's a weird woman. I would love to imagine Baby Yoda, Grogu, instead of Ianthe.
But imagine, she stands there and goes
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's too cute for this role.
Yeah.
He can be Lucian, maybe.
No, he is Emran.
Tiny Emran!
And then he points his finger and the people just die. I think that's fitting.
Yes. This should have been Mandalorian and Grogu the movie. Not what this clusterfuck of a movie was.
Fucking slugs.
Anyways, moving on from
Please.
this disaster. Feyre then uses the privacy of her own bedroom to send a message to Rysand through the bond, which she only does very rarely, because I guess it's dangerous. And then she tells him that she'd love to spend this day with him instead of Tamlin. And it's all very lovey-dovey and cute, but of course Feyre doesn't get to spend the day with Rysand and has to spend it with Tamlin. Dancing.
But she tells him she plans to go home soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
That really gives me hope that she knows her plan can't go on for too long, and that is just the setup for the whole story of the book. It's just this starting point, I guess.
Yeah.
But I also would like to point out a sentence in this part of the chapter, because she thinks about the people in Springcourt that are no, oh my god, Feyre's Cursebreaker. Oh. She's like, I had no quarrel with these people of these lands who had suffered alongside the rest. I'm like, Feyre!
Gross.
New words! Where does this town come from?
She doesn't want to murder all of them?
Good.
I'm surprised, but delighted.
Yes. Yeah, she's got me convinced a bit last chapter that she would be willing to sacrifice all of Springcourt just to get back to Tamlin.
But maybe it was also kind of obviously she cares about them, but maybe her sentiment was, I'd be kind of sad when you all have to die for my plan.
Yeah,
I hope
true.
not.
And I also like to talk about, in this dialogue with Rysand, she tells him, Hybern is here. And I had this thought during the last few chapters about the personification of Hybern, because I think at some point when she talks to Lucian, she says, we don't know what Hybern wants. And sometimes it reads like it could be a name, for a person. And I was wondering, maybe the king is so ancient that the land is named after him. I think it's dropped sometimes like a name, but at this point she says Hybern is here, and it's just the way she talks about a land.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
I
there's
think
a possibility that the king of Hybern, whom we call Pascal, might not actually be called Pascal, but just Hybern.
But I would hate that.
I mean, obviously it would make sense that the land is just named after him, but that's not an excuse to not tell us.
Yes.
Because at no point was Feyre like, by the way, what's his name? And Roseanne was like, oh, he's just called Hybern. Like, that's a conversation that would happen.
But like,
Yeah.
I also think it's a natural way to talk like about an enemy.
Maybe it's just the way they talk about the land.
Yeah. Also,
So-
she has to keep it short for
Yeah.
like the bond, I guess. So just to be like Hybern's here. Rysand knows the important
Yeah.
people of Hybern are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you cast sending, you can only use 25 words.
Right.
True.
But it's kind of weird we don't know his name yet.
Yeah.
We know B&D, we know Jurian, and we only know the king of Hybern.
Maybe it's his surname. Maybe they're called Brenna and Dagden Hybern. Like Windsor.
Maybe.
But then he would have to have a first name.
His name's
Pascal
Pascal.
Hybern. That's just a stupid name.
I don't think it's a stupid name. I just think it should be an established name.
Yeah, I feel like it's missing a second name. Pascal Hybern is just too short.
Frederico.
Pascal Frederico of Hybern.
Or Cornelius.
Pascal Frederico Cornelius of Hybern. Like, when I say this name, I just always drift into German. I can't say it in English. It's just Pascal Frederico, not Pascal Frederico. I don't know. Frederico.
I think this is just a big gripe that I have with this book, that we don't know his name, because I think it's... Why? Like, why? Why?
And I feel like it's an important distinction to distinguish between, like, the person, the king, and what the state wants. Like, sure, he is an absolute king with absolute power, so their intentions align.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
it's not the same.
The king of Hybern isn't here, so the sentence
Yeah.
Hybern is here cannot apply to the king,
So
I
it
guess.
must mean the land.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we get a name soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope Feyre gets to go home soon, too.
Yeah.
That would be good. But first, she has to appease Tamlin a bit more. Like, she joins the party again, and then she dances with him, like she did last year.
Great.
But she feels very differently to last time. They had their first kiss at Summer Solstice, right?
Yeah.
And now she's just appalled by him and his... I was about to say stench. I don't think he stinks. She just doesn't like his scent anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His pheromones don't work for her anymore.
No, now that she's mated.
Mated!
I try not to think about the mating thing too
No.
much.
But I think it's like the way these chapters progress, it kind of almost seems like Tamlin reacts as if he were mated. Which then
Yeah.
I find confusing because it's like, bro, you're not even mated. Like, calm down.
I think he still waits for the bond to snap into place
guess.
for them. Because he thinks the mating bond between Roseanne and Feyre is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. Just weird.
Maybe that would be a fun story if he just meets someone else entirely and then they just have a mating bond.
Yeah, good for
And
him.
he's like
Yeah, he would
confused.
Get over Feyre.
Yeah. It
Would he though?
I mean, it would help. Probably. It would make
Maybe.
it go a lot faster.
But you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to just push Tamlin to another person for him to heal. Like, he should do the healing himself and
Yeah.
not rely on someone else to do the healing.
It's kind of a cheat
for
code.
him. Right.
Yeah.
I found one sentence, like it particularly caught my eye. Perhaps it was a blessing. Magic still surprises me. And that like opened my eyes to so many things. Because like the whole of the last book, he was so closed off of the possibility of Feyre having powers and maybe training those powers. And the fact that he doesn't even seem to understand his powers and fully control his powers, because he obviously lost control of his powers and loses control of his powers constantly when his claws come out. That explains why he wouldn't even think about letting her embrace her powers.
Yeah.
He's just a very troubled person. And
Yeah.
you know, I would feel sorry for him if he didn't take it out on Feyre. He makes
Yeah.
Feyre's life hard because he is not in the clear with himself.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for him, but I'm like, bro, you're
Yeah.
getting on my nerves. Leave
Yeah.
Feyre alone.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, he's had 5 centuries
Yeah.
to get some fucking character growth.
Yeah, like, he's just so immature.
Yeah.
And as you said, being 500, you're like, bro, how long do you have your magic powers? You should be able to control them.
Right, and if
Yeah.
not, get help.
Yeah.
That is, I think Tamlin doesn't want to get help because of whatever pressure he feels to appear strong and in control all the time. But if you're not, it's fine. Get help.
And I feel like, sure, Rysand, for example, because there's always the comparison, he's also not that mature. Like, he also has a lot of growth to do, but he has people in his life. He's actively looking for help. And Tamlin has built an environment where he's like, no, I can't accept anything from anyone.
I think the reason we know so little about like Ianthe's powers and Lucian's powers is because Tamlin doesn't talk about them. Because he rarely talks about anything power related.
Yeah.
Because he probably doesn't talk to Lucian about power because he doesn't want to admit that he is not in control of his own power.
Yeah.
So he might not even know to what an extent Lucian can do magic. It's just,
And then imagine your Feyre hearing this, and it's like, bro, I had my powers like for half a year, and I'm so much more adept at them than you ever were at yours.
Yeah.
what does Iroh say? You have to find peace within yourself to... Iroh.
Nice. It's just Tamlin it's just like, bro, just
Bro.
get help, grow up, get better, learn how to people. Like you said, Tamlin is not a good person, and I just think Tamlin is not good at being a person.
Yes.
Maybe he should just be a beast.
No.
But like
then he
separate from
can-
other people in the woods.
Yeah,
then maybe.
he can just go off and live in the woods.
Yeah.
He can live at the forest house.
Sure.
No, then that's where we have to go with Lucian.
Tamlin can come along if he's on a leash and shuts up.
No, I don't want him to come along.
But
Come
then
along,
they
pond,
can
pod,
pet
pod,
him.
Pod. What's it?
What?
Come along, pond, pot.
Come along, Pond Podcast.
What?
Shout out, I guess.
Because leashes?
No, because you said come along.
Oh, okay.
Come along.
Come along.
Come along.
Come along on this coverage of the next chapter.
Yes, because maybe that's what Feyre thinks about when she looks at the festivities and is like, no, I don't want to be here. And only the stars keep her company because the city of Starlight is her home.
City
Yeah.
of Stars.
No.
I kind of like that
Yeah.
ending to the chapter.
Yeah.
How she considers the stars her friends.
I think I underestimate Feyre because I think she's looking for instances where that she can use to her advantage, and it turns out she's just constantly in work mode. I think this moment where she's like connecting with the stars is like a rare moment of pause and peace for
Yeah.
her, maybe.
I think I underestimated her too. I think it's because in book 2, she was very capable, but she always did stuff she was told to do. Like Rysand was like, this is our plan and I need you to do this. And then she did it and he was like, okay, cool. Now please do this. And this is your magic and I will teach you to do this and that. And now she's on her own. And I kind of expected the
Yeah.
first book to just be like, oh, Feyre is in Springcourt and she's sad about being in Springcourt. And then she would think of a plan
Yeah.
in like chapter 7 and then the plan
Yeah,
will
yeah.
start. But to like start the book and be already in the midst of Feyre's game
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, you know, we always talked about how we wanted a Feyre solo mission. Maybe Feyre alone, trekking across the lands, doing her own stuff. And even though she is at Springcourt again, it kind of is her solo mission.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
she's alone with her own plan, working against anyone
Yeah.
else.
It's her blood right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I was just about to say, usually like in book 2, we knew the plans they had, but I don't think we did because they never really had like established plans. But I feel like here we also don't know quite what Feyre's plan is and are finding out like when she
As we go
achieves
along.
like a goal and then she's like, haha, this goal that I had is now achieved. And you're like, this was a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Example of that, chapter 5.
Yes, very, very much. Like I wrote down, it's short but juicy.
Yeah.
Just like Ambren.
This whole chapter is just one big piece in her game, and it's like just unfolding as we go, and it's so cool.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
Feyre leaves the festivities. She's drained after the long day and goes back to the manor and is escorted by Lucian, who, funny side note, is now that he's mated not interested in any other women anymore. So he's bored because there's nothing else to do at festivities.
I read that sentence completely different.
Really?
Because I read it as like, so he is like, it's not uncouth for him to escort a lady that is alone. You know, or it's someone else's lady. And that took me so off guard because I was like, I mean, we know this is kind of a patriarchal society, but it's like not established really that it's like the kind of patriarchy that it used to be like in our Middle Ages where ladies weren't allowed to be alone with men. And I was just so...
Oh, what you mean, the book says because Lucian is mated, it's okay that he's alone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that's... but it took me so off guard because I was like, I think this happens like a few times in these books, and I'm so surprised because this book hasn't really established that kind of patriarchy in this world. And sure, it's like we know it's a patriarchy in this world, but it's like this is just like thrown in there in like a side sentence. I'm like, since when is this uncouth? Yeah, that confused me, or not confused me, but like irritated
Saddened.
me.
Yeah, like both ways to read it. It's just weird.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But hey, Lucian escorts her home.
Lucian escorts her home. Awesome.
Nice.
And then they go their separate ways, which is not awesome. I wanted to see Lucian action.
I mean, it would have been cool, kind of, if they had like some like snack time in the kitchens or something.
Oh, yes.
Snack time.
I mean, it feels kind of natural, like if you go home with like a friend in from a party and you be like, now I have the munchies. Let's get some raw noodles or some cookies or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know, weird snacks.
Okay. What's a weird snack?
A raw noodle.
Just
Do
one.
you ever eat raw noodles?
Basically, every time I cook noodles, I have a snack spaghetti.
I don't. Am I weird?
I also have a snack fusilli.
That is-
Strong chewing.
Yeah, that's just impressive because they're very hard.
You have to be careful when you do that because you can hurt yourself.
Yeah, like
Okay.
spaghetti I see, but
It's also such a
fusilli-
nice like spaghetti is satisfying. Fusilli is like I was about to go in a weird direction. Fusilli is like crunchy. Yeah.
Okay. But please, guys, listeners at home, let us know if you like to snack raw pasta, because I don't.
Noodles.
Maybe I'm weird.
Don't quit.
Noodles. You guys, like this was such a peak moment. Like I think I was still at uni, and it was just at night, and I was just like, I'm just gonna make noodles. And then it was like 3 a.m. at night, and I stood in front of this pot of pasta, and I was like, quit, don't quit. Noodles! I think it was during my master's thesis phase or something. Peak moment, I have to say.
Very relatable moment.
Yeah. Did you quit?
I didn't. I
did.
ate noodles.
Great.
Very good. So proud of you.
Thanks.
Me too.
Okay, moving on. Noodles are important, but also what happens is important, okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Because Feyre changes in her sexiest nightgown. No, that's not what is important, but it's part of the
It's
plan.
part of the plan, yeah.
Okay.
And she says, because it's so hot and sweaty.
Right, she's lying to us.
The end of book 2, we got to learn that Feyre is an unreliable narrator. And it's happening again. And I fell for it again.
I
I
like
wrote
it.
down, she has a nightmare. She looks for comfort.
No. Yes, So I think we're just going to talk about what actually happens and not the lie she tells us, which is the lie she tells to Lucian. Because she changes into a nightgown and then goes to bed, tries to sleep, or does she? And then yelps and gets out of the bed and goes to Lucian's room and is like knocking, and he opens like, oh no, I heard you scream, what happened? She's like, oh no, I had a nightmare, it was terrible, I thought about Claire and I saw her nailed to the wall. And she is so dramatic and so sad, and Lucian, of course, being a good friend, embraces her and is like, no, it's okay, you're here, you're in Springcourt, you're safe.
Yeah, he's topless, by the way.
Right, she says
Nice.
it looks like he had the time to put on pants, so it sounds like he sleeps either naked or has like Fae boxer shorts underneath his
I
pants.
think he's naked.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
he sleeps
pretty
naked.
confident he's naked.
Yeah, me too. And at the same time, she uses her powers to like get rid of the sound of Tamlin approaching.
Yeah. That's
So-
again such a D&D move.
Yes.
Such a creative and nice way to use her powers.
Awesome. So Tamlin comes in and finds them in a tight embrace in the middle of the night with Lucian being shirtless in his room and Feyre in a sexy nightgown.
That was once a gift from him, wasn't it?
Right. I think it's something he gave, like Tamlin gave to Feyre. She's so good at it.
Guys, I have to tell you how I read this. Because when I read these chapters, I was like half falling asleep. But I did like underline everything important. And then today I wrote my notes and I just wrote on, and she has a nightmare. And she uses just like all the situations that present to her. And then I go on reading. I'm like, I forgot everything that says here. And then she planned this whole thing. Like I was totally shocked like while writing this down. And I was so mad.
I like Feyre being unreliable. I think unlike you maybe, because you get so mad and invested, but I think it's a more interesting way to tell the story.
I think I also like her being unreliable. I just don't really like the way she then explains everything again at the end of the chapter. Like I feel like there must be a more subtle way to convey that this is something she actually planned. Like I think it's cool that she does, and I think I like that she does not immediately tell me what her plan is, but then to like finish a chapter off by basically recapping the whole chapter and her being like, this is what I actually did. It's like the same when you watch a movie and they then show you scenes you have seen before to tell you, do you remember this? In this scene, actually, this was happening. And I just don't like it. I'm like, I watched the movie. Thank you very much.
They repeat things because they think you weren't paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like you see the scene of, I don't know, the father giving her something again.
Yeah, I don't like that
and
either.
Again, and again.
I'm sure you heard of this phenomenon, but that like Netflix producers try to appeal to people using their phones during the movie, so they over-explain everything. But I mean, in a book, I guess, I was just about to say you can't second screen while you read, but I guess a lot of people audiobook. And is that a thing? Are people on their phones while audiobooking?
Probably.
Because I feel like I could not follow the story.
Yeah, I think, I only listen to audiobooks when I'm like on a train or something, and then I try to like stay focused on the audiobook, but sometimes like an email comes in and then I'm like, I can easily just read the email and continue listening to the audiobook. But every time I start reading the email and I'm finished reading the email, I'm like, what just happened in my book?
Yeah, but then you just
rewind and go back to where I left off. And it's easy to like zone out when you like watch out of the window and then someone tells you a story and you start thinking about trees and birds and the nature and life.
I also think it's not just a new phenomenon. I think like in like TV series that came out like weekly, that happened then and again as well, because there were like several weeks between episodes when you could watch them again, like before streaming. Yeah. And then now when you binge them, you're like, bro, I know this. I just watched it like 2 hours ago.
But like if there's a week between it, right.
And I mean, I'm grateful that she explained it in the end, but I don't think I would have needed it in that detail. Like, I agree, like, there could have been a more subtle way to be like, this was all my plan. I wasn't like...
I feel like the way Feyre thinks about the scene could have just been the way you find out. You know, her not being like, oh no, poor Lucian now, Tamlin thinks blah, blah, blah. But her to actually think about like, well, this played out very well, like just like I planned. And not for her to recap the whole thing.
I feel like it is the intended effect that I'm mad that she's unreliable. So it's like, in that way, clever writing. But especially the fact that like she tells us what she was dreaming. She doesn't say she's dreaming about it, but she's like, I had the Etta in my head and whatever. Like she is thinking about these things that supposedly had traumatized her in this nightmare. Like that's so like, she's even fooling me.
She's method.
Yeah.
I think it just takes the wind out of the action in the chapter if you take a moment to like take a step back and be like, well, this is what I actually did and this is what I planned and blah, blah, blah. I think it was a very suspenseful chapter because at first I was like, is Tamlin gonna walk in? And then Tamlin did, and then Feyre was like, I planned all this. And I was like, this is sick, this is so cool. And then like the rest of the chapter was not sick and cool, but just Feyre telling me what she did. And I was like, okay, can we move on? Well, but then I had to stop because we only read chapter 4 and 5 for this episode.
Well, but I feel like this chapter ends with her like, and I waited if he actually would kill Lucian or not. And then she notices that he calms down enough and leaves and does not kill Lucian. And she's like smiling slightly to herself. And I feel like it was still like the explanation was still interwoven with her like reaction to her plan working and coming to fruition. So I
think she says, I waited the 5 minutes it took Tamlin to decide whether to kill Lucian or not.
Yeah.
And by the way, in this chapter we get confirmation that Tamlin has Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
They do not grow from his fingernails, but from his knuckles. And I do not know how to feel about that.
It looks better when growing. It just is a cooler concept.
Yeah, but like, Like, if he transforms into his beast, do his fingers then disappear?
They
do his
probably
knuckles
turn
become
into
his
a
new
paw.
fingers?
Yeah, they probably turn into a paw, and a paw is way clumpier than a finger, so they
okay,
probably
okay.
go
Yeah,
crunch.
I guess. Yeah, but just confirmation, he has Wolverine claws.
Because naturally his claws come out immediately when he sees this.
Yeah. What would you choose if you could grow claws? Would you have fingernail claws or Wolverine claws?
Wolverine claws, because it's just cooler.
Yeah, I feel like if my hands stay hands,
Yeah.
I feel like the claws might be more practical. Like if
might
my
cut them.
fingernails transform
Yeah.
into like actual claws. But if I transform into like a beast, I mean, with cats, the claws don't come out like at the end of the paw, but like a bit above it. There's like a and then, which is kind of like Wolverine claws.
I guess. If I keep the hand, I would choose fingernail claws.
I just think, I don't know if that's true, because I feel like they say when you're fighting, you should be like scratching your opponent, like if you are actually in danger. But like you see so much fighting, like punching on TV, that because I do not fight in my real life.
What?
it
Are you not a
seems-
vigilante at night?
No, unfortunately not.
That's what a secret vigilante at night would say.
Just look at her. You look so sneaky.
Sus. So intuitively, I would say like it feels more natural and easier to fight punching. Scratching feels less natural. So I would say like then I can, if I have the Wolverine claws, I could ball my hands up into fists and be like meh, instead of
Yeah, that's true. I get it.
Yeah. For fighting, I would choose Wolverine claws. For removing the piece of food stuck between my teeth, I would choose the fingernail claw.
Honestly, that's such a vibe though, like letting just one claw grow from your pinky and be like
Very cool.
Yeah.
But I want to point out, I feel
Yes.
like, was it last episode where Feyre deliberately engineered a situation where the Hybern royals found her and Lucian already like
Yes.
being very close to each other,
Yeah.
and we were like,
Yes.
is this maybe her plan?
But what exactly do you think is her plan?
I mean, she said
Because how would she profit from pretending that Lucian and her have a thing going?
I think at this point, her plan is to turn everyone against everyone.
I think she said so in the first
Yeah.
chapter.
Just mayhem.
She wants to turn everyone against each other. Yeah.
Mayhem.
Chaos.
Okay. I can get behind that.
And then, if Tamlin turns against Lucian, that also opens a window for her to maybe convince Lucian to join her side. And it just leaves an opening.
Yeah.
I almost was ready that he would like throw them both out, which would be kind of stupid because he just got her back.
Yeah, what? No. I don't think he'd do that.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you had the good point last time that he views her as property and an object that belongs to him, so he like would never kind of blame her.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks it's her fault.
No.
He would only blame Lucian.
Do you think he might throw just Lucian out?
Yes.
And then Lucian will go to Night
yeah.
Court.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
Maybe. I just got so excited because I thought that maybe we will get a third POV from Lucian's perspective. Tracking
Would be
to Night
sick.
Court. Oh,
But maybe like he leaves, we get a little bit more of Feyre's perspective, Feyre's scheming, and then it switches to Rysand the moment when Lucian arrives.
Oh, that would be so good.
yeah, maybe.
That's how I would write it.
So yeah, these are the chapters. I don't think we can cross anything off our bingo.
No, I don't think so. But maybe we're
Sadness.
getting closer to Lucian switching sides.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, definitely.
I think there's it's not just setup that is happening. It's a lot of like the establishing situation is already evolving so fast. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, like Feyre says, the chapter ends with her being like, there's more work to do. And this is...
So this is like how you get Tamlin and Lucian against each other. What do you think? Like she obviously wants to turn Tamlin and Ianthe against each other, right?
Which might actually be the hardest. Because I feel like Tamlin is so easy to forgive her. And Ianthe might just not care that much about Talmud. Like, she pretends to be his friend, maybe just to be close to a position of power.
This is how we get our queer representation. Feyre's just going to do the same thing, but with Ianthe. And since
Nice.
Ianthe is like fucking everywhere and everyone.
Right. I think she's succeeding at like playing B&D and Ianthe.
Yeah, I think that's the anchor point.
And then she's succeeding in Tamlin and Lucian. And then the whole court is just gonna be fighting.
in disarray.
And a court in chaos, it's just more easy to spill information. It's less good at, fulfilling plans and sticking to plans. So maybe they're more prone to making mistakes. And this is all she wants.
Good.
And also, if they are in chaos, they can't be a reliable ally to Hybern anymore. Very exciting. Do you think... Like, what do you think her strategy will be? Will she be like, I'm so sorry, Tamlin, I did this? Or will she be like, Lucian came onto me, I don't know what happened?
Good question.
I don't know. Say, Lea, what strategy would you recommend?
Well, I can't recommend a strategy. I can only recommend something great to watch in Recommendation Corner.
Wow, transition.
Yeah, this is not a recommendation for you, Meike. I think, I don't know when, but if it was in our early days, but we did probably bond about the fact that we both watched this series in our youth. In our youth, back then! No, that's not that long ago. I don't know if you have seen it now already.
Me?
Yeah, but the series I'm recommending is BBC's Robin Hood!
Yes!
That was on air from 2006 till 2009.
I never saw it.
It's just. Now listen to me why you should watch it, Lukas. It's just good old cheap ass fantasy that's so funny.
It's fantasy.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like middle-aged fantasy kind of. It's
has
not high
some
fantasy.
magic. Just a bit.
That's
It's not high
interesting.
fantasy. It's like it has fantasy vibes. I think.
It's less
okay,
magical than Merlin,
Obviously, yeah.
but there is still like
I don't even remember if there's
Interesting.
magic, but it's like it has a fantasy vibe definitely because they're all more than people. I feel like they're all a bit overdone, but not in a bad way. They're just hyperbolic a bit. And there's just this unhinged Sheriff of Nottingham. He's just such a great character. And he has a criminally queer-coded relationship with Guy of Gisborne, who is played by Richard Armitage, who you might know as Thorin Oakenshield. And his Guy of Gisborne is just so pathetic and
Yes.
so sexy.
Yes.
I love him so much.
yes, especially
Okay.
when he takes off that leather jacket.
Oh, we still haven't watched the third season.
You mean rewatched?
Yes.
Separately we saw it, but
Yes, and I really, like, when I wrote down the things why I recommend the series, I really was like, I need to watch it again. I need this in my life right now.
Okay, I might check it out.
And it's just the best time, so go watch BBC's Robin Hood. It's just the best.
it's just the best.
Well, I was not included in your watch parties that you started 7 years ago
Yeah.
because you only invited the girlies.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a great time.
It was.
It was like we all sat on my bed in my dorm and we were like, oh, it's so sexy. And we punched each other out
It
of
also
sexiness.
has young Harry Lloyd.
Oh, yes. Didn't even think of him.
I think he's my favorite character.
He's so good.
Yeah. Will Scarlet. Maybe we should do
Nice.
like a bonus episode just fangirling about Robin Hood.
Please,
Okay.
please.
Then I'm gonna have to reduce your microphone gain by a lot.
Oh, can we? It'll be just like when we watched the Voyage of the Dawn Trader. We have to watch it, all the three of us. You're sitting in the middle and you're just punched out of sexiness. Because it's so great.
Such a
If you
fun
keep
show.
your claws to yourself, I might agree.
You heard, I'm just punching, not scratching.
Okay.
Sometimes
Nice.
I do this because it's just so awesome.
That was a great recommendation. You listeners should check it out.
Yes, do it now.
And
No, wait for the other recommendations, then go check out Robin Hood.
okay, I also have a great recommendation.
What is it?
And it's very, very different than what you just recommended. It's not a medium, it's not a story, it's not even a food, it's not an activity per se, but I think it's great. And I do a lot of work, for example, editing this podcast, and I want to recommend to you an ergonomic vertical computer mouse. Because your natural position of your hand is not as you would, just palm down on the table how you would use a normal computer mouse, but it's like vertical. How do I describe this hand position? I don't know. How you might hold on to like a vertical thing,
Like a bottle.
yeah, how you would maybe like grab a bottle. That's just your natural position. And there are vertical computer mouses. They look silly, but if you get used to them, your hand will hurt less.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is coming from a guy who just turned 26 and has already little pains all over his body.
It's the tiny things in
Yeah.
life that
Yeah.
make your life
Take all the
better.
help you get.
It's wisdom shared here.
Yeah.
We got ergonomic pillows in our bedroom, ergonomic mouse, basically living our best old people life.
I have none of that. I just suffer. I woke up this morning and I was like, am I sore from just carrying like a big package up the stairs? Because like this weekend I was alone for the first time in ages. And obviously this weekend my roommate had like her air conditioner delivered. And it was just in a staircase. And I was like, I can carry that up. It was heavy. But I did it. And then next day I woke up and I was like, did I do it wrong? But I was so careful to carry from my legs.
I was about to say, always carry from your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my recommendation
Yes.
is also nostalgic, but I don't think any of you did it when you were younger. And my recommendation is good old BookTube. Because I just recently started watching BookTube channels that I used to watch when I was like 14, 15, 16. And it's just such a joy. I think people don't really do this anymore. Most of like the book community is now happening on like Instagram or TikTok. But I feel like BookTube videos, especially from like the early 2010s or like the end of the 2010s, were really just hyped about whatever they read. And it's just such a joy to watch a long video about someone just being like, oh my God, I love this story and I want to talk about everything about it. It's so nice. Like one of my favorite booktubers ever is A Clockwork Reader. Hannah is just the most comforting person, I think. But then she gets so hyped about what she reads and I just started rewatching Hannah's videos and I think she's just, it's such a joy.
Do you know if she's still active?
I think she is, but she only publishes a video like every few months, maybe no video for a year and then some pops up. I think
Should get on the pod.
I think she will release a video in like November when the newest Shadowhunter book comes out, because she used to do this like long ass reading vlogs where she like just filmed herself reading the books and then only used the moments where she had something to say, and the video is like an hour long and she's just like holding the book, freaking out, just shaking it and being like, what is happening? And I just love her. She has also such good book recommendations.
That's great.
She's awesome. So I'm hoping
Great.
for a book vlog for the newest Shadowhunter book that's coming out. And I think November. It is called The Last King of Fairy. And it's the first book in the supposedly last trilogy in Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter universe.
The thing is, I only ever read the main series. I never read any other books. And so I'm so behind in the lore of that world.
Yeah, she has like 6 books in the main series. Then she published a trilogy, a prequel trilogy. Then she published a sequel trilogy to the original books, and then she published a trilogy that is a prequel to the original story but a sequel to the first prequel. And now the series she's publishing is another trilogy and it takes place like after everything, so a sequel to even
Maybe.
the sequel series.
Maybe I should get back
Okay.
in there. and-
Maybe you should. I just ordered the last book in the sequel series, so I'm like now up to date.
I
And
have
I-
seen
Isn't-
the movie.
I
Which
don't
is
know
awesome.
if I ever finished the movie. I'm not sure. I know
movie is
I
so fun.
I know I started it several times.
we
Like
should
my
watch the
stepsister has it on DVD.
We should watch the movie.
Oh, it's David Gabauer.
Yes.
Well, that's it.
That's all for today's episode.
Goodbye.
No,
Yes.
not goodbye.
They're already gone.
No, come back, come back.
Oh, they just came back and are here to listen to us recommend our Instagram and TikTok at GameFayPod, where we post great highlights and outtakes and
Memes. And recommendations.
And we also recommend you maybe leave us a rating and review on whatever podcasting app you're using.
Because that really helps.
That would be great. Thank you.
And also recommend this podcast to any other people you know who might enjoy this, because that also really helps. Thanks.
Thanks.
And with that, we will see you next time when we are
Getting Fae'd.